episode of Savages Unscripted, ladies and savages. We are here, and the third episode with our intern.
Hey, how y'all doing? This is Papa Bear. Time for the intern finale before Papa Chulo gets back.
I was wondering if you would forget to say you're Papa Bear. You're 3 for 3.
I'm 3 for 3. Gotta let the viewers know that this intern is a Papa Bear.
So before we start any conversation, Elias, I want you to share what it's like being on this show and just how unscripted we are.
That's fair. After, visiting the studio, taking some time out of my day, gotta say, the studio is very nice here. I don't know if you had some renovations done recently, but it looks a whole lot better than the first time it came through. That being said, I really enjoyed my time here.
Mm-hmm. So
if any of y'all had the opportunity to, host a podcast or co-host a podcast with Hector here, you should totally do it. I'm not, trying to call out any names here right now, but I know a few of you have already been offered. And I just gotta say, you should probably, take it.
Yeah, we've been offering and we've been asking quite a bit of people. For one, we have one person who is hiding right now.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that, Elias? She's listening.
Oh, she is most definitely listening. And that would be Robin Curtis. I gotta repeat this. Robin Curtis.
Bueller. Yeah, we've been trying to get our other roommate to come on the show, but whenever I allude to anything podcast related,
she kind of scurries away as though we're recording it now, which we don't.
I've never seen anyone get so alert. Like earlier today, you saw, and I was like, "You're not down, Robin." And she was like, "What for?" And I told her, "What do you want to talk about on the podcast?" And she literally got up and went to her room, and we have not seen her since.
Yep.
But would you say we are unscripted or we're unorganized?
Yes.
Yes. A or B question. Yes.
Since being on the podcast, these last 3 episodes,
mm-hmm.
I remember the first one, we had like this kind of schedule, kind of list of what we're going to talk about. Never hit any of those points. Not once. Not even like a brief little mentioning of it. Just completely passed by. Second time, we didn't even have a list. We just went off, and it was supposed to be a short one.
I did have a list. We did not get to any of it. I think I told you I found some funny news articles, and I told you I don't want to tell you any of these because I want to see your reaction on the show, a natural reaction, and we just did not get to any topic that I had on our list, and that's just what it's like on Savages Unscripted. We'll take your guys' topic suggestions, but
whether or not we use them is another issue entirely.
Like a nice 10% chance we'll talk about it. Yeah, but we had an interesting night last night.
That we did. For those of you that aren't aware, in Riverside?
Yeah, I was in Riverside.
In Riverside, there's a bar there called Duke's Bar and Grill.
How would you rate it before we get into the story?
As a bar/club type scene, I think it's passable, a 3 out of 5.
How would you rate your experience?
My experience? I like the drinking part. So that's
the drinking part was nice.
Yeah, that was a good 4 there.
It was the best part of a bar, yeah.
But when we got to the dance floor, that's when I got to it too.
Yeah, so the story starts like this. You got home late, pretty late last night. So Elias gets home from work. I'm in the restroom. And I just hear knocking. I'm listening to a podcast, and I'm like, is that coming from my headphones? But you're knocking on the door, and you ask me, Kyle and Robin invited us. Do you want to go to Duke's?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, you know what? I've just been working. I've just been doing podcast stuff. Yeah, I'll force myself to go out. So I told Elias, yeah, I'm down. And Elias looks at me. He's like, damn it, Hector. Now I got to go.
So for those of you that don't know, I will usually be for something and against something at the same time.
Yeah, he was disappointed that I said yes. And then I told him, well, we don't have to go. It's fine. I don't mind just staying in and watching Netflix. No, I want to go, Hector. I was so confused. So we decided to go because it was a Friday night. Like, why not, right?
Yeah.
We're getting old, but we want to ease into it, I think.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah.
Still reminisce something of our college lives and our crazier days.
we talk about our college days like it was years and years ago, and it was just like a year ago. That's what's funny. That's how you know we're getting old already. Like, we're accelerating this process already.
Oh, I know I am.
Yeah, so we're heading to this bar. It's called Duke's. It's in Riverside. And as soon as we get off the freeway, Elias realizes he knows what this bar is. And it just wasn't in a pretty place.
It wasn't in the safest of areas either.
Yeah.
It was very much a sketchy looking bar, aside from the front entrance.
Yeah, and as soon as we got there, I think Kyle finally told you.
Mm-hmm. He finally sent me a message.
There was an entry fee. And
which was bullshit.
I don't like paying for something if I'm not guaranteed I'm going to like it.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed. And I was going to tell you want to go back, but it was quite a bit of a drive. And I was like, oh, we're already here.
Yeah.
But none of us carry cash. So we're like, okay, well, we've barely found parking. So we walked down the street to a gas station. Turns out we skipped a gas station. There was one right beside it. I don't know if you noticed that.
So I noticed it, but once we got outside, I'm like, ah, shit.
So we walked even further on this really sketchy street to this gas station just to get cash. And I told you about the lady's reaction to what I had said. But I asked her, like, hey, do we need to buy something to get cash back? And she said yes. And I literally... I thought I said it in my head, but I was like, fuck. And she looked at me weird. So I got some Altoids and I paid for it. And as soon as she gave me my cash back, I was leaving. She was like, sir, your Altoids. And she was like, dang, you guys really just wanted cash. So we head over to the bar. Man, it was ghetto.
It's just a bit. So from what our group of friends that were there were telling us, was that before we arrived, a lot of the, I guess you would call them patrons at the bar were of college age, mid-20s, early 20s, and I guess we had hit there on the shift change between college students and
ladies' night.
Ladies' night, old folks, just like, clearly there was an age gap between our table and everywhere else.
Yeah, we were the youngest ones there. Mm-hmm. That was interesting. But we were talking about this, but like, I have no problem with cholos. You know, I'm Mexican. It's just in the job description.
Yeah.
But when everyone's just face tatted and the teardrops, and I was just holding on to my wallet. I didn't want to make eye contact with too many people.
Yeah. As those of you can recall, I am the big guy, and I wanted to make sure I didn't cross my arms at any point, because I did not want to seem like I wanted to start shit.
Well, if I did not know you and I saw you at a place like this, just crossing your arms, I would probably think you're like a bouncer, honestly.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Speaking of which, a nice little segue, I actually had a little bouncer gig at one point.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. This was, let's see, 2015, 2016? Mm-mm. And it was out in LA. The whole reason why I came across it was, at the time, my brother wasn't truck driving just yet. He was still doing security as a bouncer for most bars.
Yeah.
And he had done this one bar in downtown LA that was a really nice bar. It was towards Beverly Hills, just like a street over.
Okay.
And so he's been working there for a couple of months now. It was towards the end of the year, so it was going to be this New Year's Eve party. And they needed an extra bouncer. And at that time, I did not stay up late, period. I would usually knock out around 9 or 10. But because my brother asked me, like, hey, you want to make some cash? It would be paid about $70. Just stay up and watch, the restrooms, survey the area. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, all right, I think I can do that. And so I went with him. And that night was probably the worst time my brother had with me.
Oh, what do you mean?
Because not only did he have to watch a bar full of drunken people, but he also had to watch over me because I was starting to knock out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And we didn't finish the gig until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
I remember back then you'd sleep really early.
Mm-hmm. I still try to when I can, but because of my new schedule, I don't do that as much as I used to. Mm-hmm. But as I was doing that bar gig, there was one girl that was dancing on the table.
Okay.
And our rule was you cannot have any of them dance on any table. I said, okay. So I looked at her and I'm like, hey, you gotta get down. And I looked over at my brother, and he's like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. He just kind of nodded, like an affirmation. I'm like, all right, cool. One of the guys that was sitting at the table apparently owned the bar.
Oh.
And he looked at me and my brother, and he said, no, that's fine. Okay. So I was like, oh, okay. So I left it be, and then I had to go check on the restrooms. There, my brother warned me ahead of time that it wasn't the safest of spots, because a lot of people take illegal substances, and so I had to keep a lookout on that. But like around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, that's when it really hits me. Mm-hmm. I was really slowing down. You could see that I'm visibly getting sleepy. It got so bad to the point where even the bar owner's wife came up to me and was like, hey, are you okay? Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just sleepy. She's like, okay. But needless to say, my brother was not happy that night, because in essence, he had to do double shift.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I just thought of this great idea. We should start a security company where we dress up as superheroes.
Really?
Just imagine being at a bar and you're doing something you shouldn't, or there's a fight is about to break down, and you look to the corner of your eye and you just see Batman crossing his arms. You're not going to fight anymore. You're not going to do whatever sketchy shit you're about to do. I mean, come on, Batman doesn't approve.
I mean, that sounds like a novel idea.
or some Mexican grandmothers. What do you think? Holding some chanclas? What will scare you more?
I think if I saw a guy dressed up in a bear outfit would scare me more.
A bear outfit?
Not even like a full bear outfit, but like just the skin of a bear.
How about Bigfoot?
Bigfoot probably.
That'd be cool.
Here's the mythical discovery that scientists has been waiting for all these years. And guess what? He's just been a bouncer at some LA club. And
I just thought of this idea yesterday, because at some point I said, I don't know if you remember this, but I said the main goal for specifically for the Twitter of Savages Unscripted is I wanted it to be as big as Donald Trump's Twitter.
Yes, you have.
And I think a goal I want for this podcast too is I want a Savages Unscripted bar. That will be cool, because you and me were saying it'd be cool to own a bar.
Yeah.
But a Savages Unscripted bar.
That sounds pretty nice. If you would have just toss it out there. If you had your own bar, how would you decorate it?
Yeah, what would you name it so we can not take your names? We're not gonna.
Everything's unscripted here.
Yeah, and
we'll probably just have the bar sign as blank in brackets too.
Yeah, but speaking of the podcast, so Al should be coming back this weekend. I'm sure you're excited for that.
Hell yeah.
That means you're finally going to listen to the podcast.
Yeah. I've been missing out these last 2 episodes just because I knew my voice was going to be on it. And not that I don't think I have a bad voice. I just don't like listening to myself.
I was like that, I think, until I started the podcast. I could not listen to myself. Any homemade videos my family has, any parts with me, I would just cringe. I had to walk out of the room. I was like, I don't like my voice.
Yeah. And like, I hear myself from time to time, and again, I don't think it's that bad. Mm-hmm. Just, I don't like the idea of listening to myself talk. So, anyhow, I'm holding out for you, Papa Chulo.
And what's funny is, so our podcast isn't even that old, as you know. We've only been around for like, I think it's gonna be 2 months.
Yeah, just about.
We started, I think, in August when we started putting the stuff out there. But I think 2 more episodes and you would have as much episodes as Al has already. That's what's interesting. At that point, I think we will be Savages Unscripted with Hector and Elias.
I certainly get the sentiment, considering if any new listeners started 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, where's this Al guy?
Yeah, exactly. We keep talking about this Al dude, but I never heard of him.
The show is called Savages Unscripted with Hector and Al, but where's Al? Like, this is the mythical creature.
He's with Bigfoot right now.
Like, yeah, they have an intern, but where's the other guy? Where's the main guy?
For those of you that are still listening, do you even remember what Al's voice sounds like?
What's your favorite Al moment?
Ooh.
Mine was him leaving the show.
Damn. Such savagery.
Well, the savagery... The idea of this podcast started with just the way Al and I talk to each other. Mm-hmm. The way you and I talk to each other, we're pretty savage at times.
Yeah.
Me and Al, it's a whole different level. I'm surprised. I don't think I made him cry yet. No, I don't think so.
Is that going to be one of your goals on the podcast here?
Yes. Live. I want it live. I want him to just be like, I'm going to go to the restroom, but, we all know what he's doing. And...
Oh,
perfect. He just came out of the room.
Perfect timing. Robin, Yvonne, Kathleen, Curtis.
No.
Come on down.
No.
Robin. And she closed your door.
Gone.
Man.
One day she'll be on this podcast.
I think I'm going to meet a celebrity before I get Robin on this show.
Yeah, at this rate, that's a huge likelihood.
By the time she gets on the show, we might have like 1,000 listeners.
And I think that's going to wrap up Savages Unscripted.
Robin, I just want to ask you one question.
What?
See, there she is, you guys. That's Robin, ladies and gentlemen, the one person I've been wanting to have on the show lately. But the reason I've been wanting to have Robin, so Elias, I don't know if you're here for this, but the other day Robin said, hey, I know some people that listen to the show, and you've talked about like relationships and stuff, but people are saying like, you should have a girl on the show. So I've been trying to get Robin on the show, but she doesn't want to be on the show.
I can't think of any other...
Shout out to my coworkers.
I don't think of any other female representative than Robin here. I think she would give excellent advice. As one of her infamous quotes, if you've ever hung out with her, was, would you want me to lie to you or tell you the truth?
And what is Robin's favorite 2 words? What were we saying earlier? What does she call us, Elias?
Fucking bitch.
Since I moved in, I've heard her call Kyle, her boyfriend, not out of anger, just, I guess that's his nickname, a fucking bitch so many times. And there's been times where she calls me that, and I'm like, I didn't even do anything. It's just, I'm there next to him, so I must be in agreement with him.
Right. And that's how, like, a lot of our beef with Robin started, at least my beef, is that she assumes I'm agreeing with Kyle, and so she'll just attack me before I have even a chance to attack her. So, all right, Robin, if you're going to play like this, I might as well start.
She's reached that point where she's like our Yeti. Like, we talk about her so much.
What?
Well, if you, I don't know, listen to the podcast, Robin, I think you would have caught up.
And she just started listening because we started mentioning her. She doesn't want to hear her voice, but she wants to hear her name get called. I think that's what it is. Yeah, but again, you guys, this is going to be a short episode. We'll be capping off in a bit. Elias, is there anything you'd like to say before we cap this episode off? I hope we can have you on the show again. I know Al is coming back soon, but...
I think what I would love to hear is Al, Hector, and myself finally on one podcast.
No, you guys are going to team up on me. I know it.
No, of course not, man. Al, when you ever get back and start listening to this, just know I'm holding out for you. You're my favorite host.
You guys, you guys can start your own podcast.
Papa Bear and Papa Chulo.
I was going to say I'll start one with Robin, but at that point I might as well make my own podcast.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, very quick. So, any word of advice for our listeners for this week?
Let's see. I think exams are over, but I know Halloween is coming up.
Spooky season.
Or for those of you that can't handle spoopy season.
Spoopy?
Spoopy, yeah.
You said poopy.
No, spoopy. But with that said, be safe out there in your party travels. Make sure you don't do anything that I would do.
Oh, and there's a lot that he would do, you guys. This man is freaky. But be safe and be savage. And with that, we hope you guys have a great week. Goodbye.